Welcome to the Music Matters More podcast. Today we have on Deep Side. How you doing today, brother?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
That's right.
We have my co-host Eric. How you doing today?
Great, man. We feeling great, man. Excited to be here, man. Blessed to have you.
Hello,
Fuck
Eric.
yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Yo.
What's up? What's up, my boy?
All right, brother. We usually start this podcast off by asking the same question, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask, how long have you been making music for?
I started when I was 14. I'm about to be 22, so about 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I started off making songs in my kitchen.
Okay.
When my dad wasn't home and I wasn't very good, and every year I just try to find one thing that I could get better at and improve on it. I spent about 5 years learning how to do stuff on the internet, building up an online fan base. And then I left Texas whenever I was 18 and I moved to Baltimore, and I was making music out in Baltimore for about a year. And then I came to San Diego, California. And since then, it's been going crazy out here on the West Coast. I've done a bunch of shows, started my own promotion company. And yeah, I'm about to hit 1 million streams on all streaming platforms. So I'm pretty
Let's
hyped
go.
about
That's
that.
fire, brother.
Oh yeah.
Pretty hyped.
What year did you move to San Diego?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. How long you been in SD for?
I think I moved in 2023.
2023.
Okay.
Yeah,
Recently.
so I'm about to start my
Easy.
third year
Oh yeah.
next year. But yeah, it's dope. It was a bit of a culture shock moving from Texas to California
Yeah,
because they're
Absolutely.
like the exact opposite of each
brother.
other
Oh,
culturally. And so it was a bit of an adjustment at first, but now I love it. I met my girl out here. I met a lot of great friends, a lot of great artists. I've done a lot of great shows and met a lot of good friends out here. So I love San Diego, California. I love
West
California.
Coast, baby.
I love West Coast music, bro. West Coast music, it took me a minute to like figure out the culture and
Yeah.
like how everything moves, because I went from Texas to the East Coast, and you know they kind of borrow from each other more than I would say the West Coast. I think compared to like the rest of America, the West
Yeah.
Coast is kind of its own thing. But the West Coast really been having like a
California in its own is its own thing for sure, bro.
yeah, California, I think is just its own little area, and learning all the West Coast sound
Yeah.
and the way things bounce out here, it's a lot different than, you know, Jersey club or
Right.
R&B, anything like that. Like it's its own sound. So it took me a minute to figure it out. And I worked with a lot of West Coast artists to kind of like learn it, because I used to go to my shows and like I would perform, and like I noticed that people wasn't really fucking with what I was doing. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna start incorporating like West Coast shit and working with some artists, and they just helped me make it.
Now,
as
was
best as I
this
can.
when you moved to San Diego, or is this while you were still in Texas? You were
So it's actually pretty interesting. I only listened to a couple West Coast artists when I lived in Texas. It was like Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Tupac.
That's right.
I love Tupac. Tupac is like my GOAT.
So,
So I always fuck with Tupac, but I wasn't really too deep into the West Coast because the culture was just so different, you know,
Yeah.
compared to everything I knew. So
brother, it really is.
yeah, and then even when I moved to Baltimore, like that was completely different. Like they're just different, you know. So when I came to the West Coast, it was like figuring out the bounce and everything. But I came in 2023. So when I got to San Diego, the first year, all I did was open mics. I just did open mics for about a year, just trying to get better at performing. I made some really good friends. My homie Curtis, my homie Evan. We used to go up to open mics, and then from 2023, I think, to summer 2024, it was all open mics. And then I started to do some shows out in LA in the summer, and then I deployed to the Middle East in July of 2024. So I had a 6-month break, and then whenever I came back, I met a promoter, and then I started doing like actual nightclub shows out here, and that's kind of what got me to where I am now, where I'm like throwing my own shows, have my own company, everything like that. And
you're in the military?
yeah,
What branch?
the Navy.
The Navy. How do you like it? Are you out?
Almost.
You on reserves, or are you on?
No, I'm active.
Okay.
But I never let that like stop me from chasing my dreams of doing music.
That's exactly what I was about to ask you, brother. Like I see a lot of nowadays too with the culture shift and like how easy it is and accessible it is for anyone to make music. I see a lot of people where they wouldn't have the chance to, as maybe like, because they're in the military, or whatever, they don't have a chance to chase maybe their dream of music or whatever it might be. And they've been getting that chance now, and I've been seeing a lot of them come out, and a lot of great artists, especially in the military, kind of been posting their shit. I'm just like, that's tough, bro. How does it feel to be an artist that's also in the military?
It's dope. Cause I where I grew up, like it was really hard to not become like a statistic where I grew up because a lot of
Right.
people never leave. Cause I grew up in a small town in West Texas, basically the middle of nowhere. So there was no real roadmap of how to make it out of the city. And I always wanted to do music since I was, a little kid. Like I used to get on YouTube and I would study how to make raps for hours and sit in my kitchen. I'd make a song every day for like 5 years.
Yeah. Right.
And but putting everything out online, like I never thought that they would do shows because there was no infrastructure for shows. Nobody threw shows.
Right.
Where I grew up, everybody was jacking country. Nobody was fucking with hip hop. So I had to learn everything on my own. And so when I joined the military, I didn't really want to join the military at first. It's kind of something that I kind of just did as a way to leave.
Right.
My dad really pushed me into it because we had this deal where it's like if I didn't go to college, then I had to move out. And so he gave me like a month to figure things out before I had to move out. And that's kind of whenever I joined the Navy. And I
You
played
were how old at this point? 18?
18, yeah.
Damn.
So I graduated high school in May of 2022. And then I had that summer. I worked for 2 months, and then come July, my dad was like, all right, you need to start working on moving out. And then he started making me talk to recruiters. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing I knew, I was in the military. Before I joined though, I played like a really, really big show. My deceased mentor, he was the first I want to say like adult who like I was a kid doing music up until this point. And like at the time nobody fucked with me. Like where I grew up, like I used to get bullied all the time. Cause it was majority like Mexican kids and then like really rich like white kids where I went to school. So I never really felt like I fit in and like people used to fuck with me all the time because I made music. And so whenever the homie, he met me, he started like encouraging me. And then we did like my first ever show in my hometown. And it was the first ever like local show I ever seen. And I just remember feeling like, oh, like this is, exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my purpose in my life.
Absolutely.
And then I went to boot camp and I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not what I should be doing with my
It's
life.
the opposite.
Yeah, I feel like that's low key the reality of most artists nowadays. Is as much as you are talented and you have what it takes to make an industry, we have to be real with it, and we have to have a backup plan per se. And we're not trying to let down our close ones, right? Our family and whatnot. So we have what we think they want to see from us, right? But at the end of the day, we know we're not gonna let anything stop us from making our music and doing what we got to do to like make it in this like crowded as industry, because it's crowded. When I say crowded, it's crowded, man. And to stand out, you got to be that. And what are we gonna
Yeah.
do, bro? Be exactly that. That's all it is.
Well, I just got really lucky too because I ended up in San Diego,
Yeah.
California, and that's where, it's like Los Angeles is here, San Diego's right here. So I've been able to kind of accelerate things. And even then when I was in Baltimore, I had people come down from New York, like I worked with Meek Mill's team and everything.
Who a part of the Meek Mill team did you work with?
DJ Flow, some of the little homies around there. Not Meek Mill himself, but
Yeah.
I was getting kind of well known in Baltimore. Not really for music. I was doing music on my own, but the way I was networking was I was doing photography and videography for a lot of artists. And since Baltimore was such a small community, like it was a city, like it was hip hop, but nobody was really fucking with Baltimore artists. And a lot of people looked at Baltimore artists as like liability, like, oh, they were too hood or whatever.
Right.
So no camera crews wanted to go up in there. So whenever I went to Baltimore, I got a lot of respect because like I would show up to like the projects and like work with artists. So I was never on like no gang shit or trying to like, be a gangster or anything like that.
Yeah.
I always told them like if you trying to do that shit, like I don't really want to know about it. Like, we just keep it music. And so that was my relationship with a lot of
Says,
people.
man,
Uh,
music matters more. That's what
yeah.
it is.
And
Exactly that.
yeah,
Just keep it
so
music.
yeah, it was pretty dope though. Like it was a lot of fun when I lived out there. I was really happy out there. I got really connected really fast. I was only well when I was moving out there, I was only out there for like 2 months getting connected, and then I moved back to San Diego. Uh, and that's whenever I started deploying and everything. So it's been crazy, but
So
I'm
were you stationed out there in Baltimore? I didn't mean to cut you
yeah,
off.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. But the military is low key been a blessing for me in my career because I feel like I I still have that struggle part as an artist, but I have more of a safety net than like if I was just doing it out on my own and I had my rent and everything. I've been able to put a lot
You
more
get that BAH, baby.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
shit.
we need money, man. To make it happen,
Yeah.
we need lots of money.
Yeah, so I was able to invest a lot more
Yeah,
into
hell yeah.
into my craft, and so I've been able to accelerate things. And then I was just thank God that I was in California because this is where the industry is. So I was able to get
West
connected.
side.
I met
you-
my girl out here, like
That's right.
How
the
long you been with your girl?
uh quite a bit since like the beginning of the year. So we've been going on a couple months.
Hey,
so.
shout out my ex. I know you're watching. Yo, you talk about recording in the kitchen a lot.
Uh-huh.
What was your first setup? Do you remember your first interface? Do you remember your first mic?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was my first ever setup was iMovie on my iPod Touch.
You was
Yeah.
recording off iMovie.
I was, bro. They had the little voice because they didn't have BandLab at the time.
Dude,
Don't judge. Don't
No,
judge.
because I was
We know
about to say,
some
tell me why I thought about doing that before I knew GarageBand was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know about GarageBand.
Exactly,
I had
bro.
one of those old ass iPod Touches because I didn't have a phone yet. My parents wouldn't let me have one until I was like
Yeah.
in high school. So I had an iPod Touch, and so like I knew this dude from the UK, and like he's like, "Oh, I make all my songs on iMovie," and so I started trying to figure out how to do it. So I would literally like screen record the beat, and then I put it in iMovie, and then I use the voiceover feature, and then I just upload it to YouTube.
That's exactly how I would have done it.
Yeah, I did it for like a year and a half. And then one day my dad found my music.
No.
Oh yeah, it was terrible because I was a
He said it
secret-
was terrible.
I was trying to keep it a secret from everybody, because I even at people at school, I didn't want nobody to know I did music because I think deep down that it was really corny, but
At the time.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because when everyone starts, man, we're all ass. Like,
well, I didn't take myself seriously too. I used to try to make meme rap. Like I was like one of those kids that like
Miles.
not even, bro. Like I was one of those kids that was like I would care about shit, but then I would try to make a joke out of it
I feel you.
because
I get it.
like I didn't have the confidence in myself to
Yeah,
really
maybe-
like, stand
maybe-
on it.
Yeah, people won't take it as serious.
Yeah, and so I was like, I didn't take it as seriously, but I loved it. But it was like
I get
it
you,
took
bro,
me
I
a
get you.
second to kind of grow into like actually being able to take myself seriously as an artist. And as I went to high school and everything, things started to progress more. But
Oh, yeah.
I was like a jokey kid, and then I was able to kind of like develop into my own lane. But a lot of it was like literally every day coming home from school because I for a while I didn't have a job, so like every day I come home, I make like a song or two songs and be in my room every day posting my music, and that's what helped me like run it up. Like the reason I'm able to say like I almost have 1 million streams now, I think I'm like 50K away from it, was
Oh, yeah.
was because I was in my room every day putting out songs. So my discography is huge compared to like a lot of artists at my level because I was building up that back catalog. And then I just happened to have like a couple songs pop, and then not really pop, but like, they popped, hit the algorithm.
Yeah.
They did 10K, 20K.
I don't know if you knew, bro. That's probably one of the most classic, like, and I won't even call it a trick, bro, because it's just I just call it hard work. If
Mhm.
you putting out one song a day, if you putting out at least 2 more songs than the next artist next to you, you're bound to get more traction and more views. And like you said, it only takes 1 or 2 or 3 to pop off, and then you're on that algorithm. And then
Mhm.
from there, it's just hard work, more hard work, and it's just stream, stream, stream. Then before you know, bro, you in everyone's face, and that's what it is, bro. Just hard
Yeah.
work.
I think my biggest song to this day is a song I made in my room in 2022. It's about to hit it was a remix to like a Young Chris song, and it's
Young,
about a
shout out Young
Young
Chris, bro.
Chris, yeah.
Oh damn,
When
I
Young
haven't heard
Chris I
that name in a while,
so I
bro.
did remixes of him right before he popped. So I was really in touch with like the online culture. Cause I always paid attention to like, I was maybe like 17, but I always paid attention to like what are the 14-year-olds like or like paying attention to what the middle school
Yeah,
kids
right,
like.
right, right.
Yeah,
And
what are
so
the kids
Well,
like?
Yeah.
the future, right?
Well, that's
'Cause-
how I was thinking, but I was
Yeah.
like, I was also like mad young, so like, but I was trying to think like an OG, and I was like, oh well, what are
Yeah.
they like? And young kids they stream the music the
Yeah,
most,
they exactly.
so I was paying attention to the
main
They're
rappers.
literally the
consumers. They're
future,
the main
yeah.
consumers, man.
Yes,
And they the ones who gonna put us on if we really want it. You feel me?
and like at that time it was like Summers, Autumn, Young Chris, and so I
Twin
started
Uzi.
hopping on those. Yeah, I started hopping on those beats, and then I started trying to develop into like that internet sound, and I got really tapped in, and then a couple of the songs started to move, and then I kind of grew out of that sound whenever
So you fuck with Plug and B?
I used to.
Used to.
You don't really listen to it anymore, because it all kind of sounds like the same, and also like
Right.
Ken Carson ruined that shit, bro.
Yeah, you know what?
They made it like cringy, bro. They made it like Hot Topic.
You know, like
Nah,
there
bro.
is
Opium ruined
the-
it, bro. Opium ruined Plug and B.
Hey, all I can say on that is
They made it gay.
is Plug and B and Plug and B itself is a one in its only realm, and like there's only a couple artists that can really pull it off. And if it ain't for you, like you said, bro, just don't try it. Like
Nah, it was dope, but like everybody started trying to do
shout
it.
out 20.
Band Lab ruined it and Opium ruined it.
Band Lab, you blaming Band Lab? You talking about
Yes,
the
bro.
dog, bro? Why
Because
you blaming
bro,
Band
I
Lab?
love
'Cause
Band Lab.
everybody wanted to be a fucking
everyone hop
rapper.
on their iPhone, be like, I can make a song.
It
Be like,
looks could
beep, beep,
kill.
beep.
Maybe I'm a fashion dean. But like
Is-
all
is
them
it
dudes, they
fashion
be
tip?
painting their nails and shit. Like
Destroy
it's,
Lonely.
it's gay, bro.
Yeah.
How many songs have you made thus far in your career?
Oh shit, like 1,000 at least. It's got to be
Right.
1,000. I think released, I got like almost 300. But I'm in the process of re-releasing a lot of my old discography from my high school stuff because I had so much music and I had removed a lot of it because I had a moment where I got insecure. Boom, took that shit down, and then I was like, oh no, like
Stand on business.
I need to put this shit out back because that was how I was making money from the music, and now having that back catalog, I'm able to kind of fund the new shit, like my new music, and it's pretty dope. Like, but now I go to the studio, like my sound is completely different from prior, because when I
Can only
became
get better, brother.
yeah, well, what a lot of it was I spent a lot of time alone, and like as I was growing up, like I was like, oh, I had to do this, and in the military, like you take on a lot more responsibility than like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm about to be 22, but like my life has been moving so fast for like the past 3 years that it's like my last 3 years could be like 7 or 8 years to like
Right.
a normal person's, stuff. So I matured, I think, quick. And so with my music, like that kind of became reflective. Like even now it's like going back to like trying to make Plug and B and shit, like that doesn't really fit me. I'm not a teenager, like
it was a good era though.
I like
It
to
was a
make
good era.
right now the music I like to make is music that's played in clubs because I'll be performing in the clubs. I promote at clubs
Hey,
and
club music, baby.
yeah,
Come on.
club music
That's
is
that shit.
so it's like
Get
that's-
popping in the club, bro. And then,
Yeah.
come on.
well, you walk into a club and you hear the atmosphere and you walk in, it's like a
That's
feeling.
It
You
is
know,
a
it's,
feeling.
It's a feeling you can't like get anywhere else. It's like, and then now I go with my girl, but when I was single, I walk in I'd be like, oh, I don't even know what I'm gonna do tonight. Like, I'm gonna talk to
Yeah,
this
it's
girl,
gonna
this
be a
girl, this
different
girl.
adventure at the club.
Yeah. But now me and my girl, we have fun. Like we be dancing and shit, and like neither
Oh,
one of
yeah.
us really drink heavy. You know, I take shots or whatever, but like she don't really drink. So now we just go there, have fun. It's more about the music. But
Yeah, that's good.
before
It's
it was
always about the music.
yeah, before with her, like it was like oh, like I'm gonna just like go party with my homies, like I have fun.
Yeah. Man.
And so there was like
You said, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
Yeah.
Right.
What
about to
music
be.
was played in your household growing up?
Country music a lot, and I don't really fuck with country music, but my parents love country music. That was like very big, like culturally where I grew up. A
You
lot
grew
of
up in Texas, right?
yeah, but I grew up in West Texas, so there's different parts. Texas is so big. It's like California. There's different regions. So you have like East Texas, like Houston
Absolutely.
area. That's more hip hop,
Yeah.
and then you got like
Hurston.
Austin. That's like rock and shit.
Hurston.
Yeah, I mean
fucking-
country's fuck with like heavy in
What
Texas.
is that,
Texas.
Glorilla?
Yeah, country.
Hirsch down for
Houston.
Hurston.
Yeah.
She's funny though. Hey, shout out Glow, bro. You hard.
Yeah, Glorilla's dope.
She's
bro.
tough,
She's
bro.
dope.
I actually
She's
hella
ill.
fuck with Glow.
I love the music in the South, but like that was really big where I grew up. What was the question?
So what artists
yeah,
like
where
did
you
you
grow
grow
up
up with
listening to?
in your household?
So like my dad, he used to play Sirius XM. He used to play like the R&B music. When I was really young, it was like Eminem, Justin Timberlake and stuff. When
JT, man.
my dad was like a young dad, so whenever he was in his 20s, he would play like more hip hop, and then he got older, and then he came into more like R&B, and so like that's kind of what I think introduced me to the sound.
You know where to
Yeah,
walk around it.
my mom was
Wanna
a,
rock your body. Come
to the
on,
break of
man.
day, dance with me.
Nah, bro.
Just wanna rock
JT's
you.
tough, bro. And shout
Yeah.
out Pharrell Williams, cause without
shout out
Pharrell,
Timberland.
yeah.
Well, I remember
exactly,
being
bro.
a kid, and my
The
mom
goats.
used to always play like the pop music. Whenever I was in the car, we go to McDonald's. She's
You
playing
got that
like
Gwen.
Britney Spears or whatever.
Yeah.
But my mom was
Stefani?
a singer.
Yeah.
Dude.
My mom was a country singer. So she used to sing to us as kids all the time, and like
that's tough.
we'd
bro.
always watch movies. She had this movie called August Rush. She really liked, just like
Oh my gosh, I freaking
that
love
movie?
August.
Yeah.
He's playing with the guitar
he's playing
with
it
his hands.
like drums and shit.
No
Yeah.
way, bro.
Bro,
So,
I'm
hey,
gonna-
you gotta watch
I'm gonna have
that.
to
I'm
check
gonna
that
tell you
out.
about
That was
Yeah.
my mom's favorite
Oh, yeah.
movie. Yeah, I seen August Rush so many times, but I don't know like what made me. Actually, I do know what made me become a rapper was whenever I was in middle school. I never thought I was gonna be making music. Like at first, I was like really into YouTube, so like I liked FaZe Clan or whatever. I used to post
Who
like
didn't, brother.
I used to post like Call of Duty clips.
Dude,
Who was your
those
favorite-
360.
Who's your favorite
quick
FaZe
shots,
FaZe
bro.
member?
Oh my
FaZe
God.
Adapt because he had the flash shit
Hey, he's still
and
going
the
hard.
Arabic
Hey, that's how I know
one.
you fake. Rain?
FaZe, right?
No, not Rain.
Dude.
The other dude, the old one.
Rug?
No,
No,
he's
no,
talking
no.
about the OG,
You
bro.
know,
He's talking about
Jason?
Bangs.
Arabic. Yes,
He's talking about Bangs.
Banks is not
No,
Arabic.
Arabic
He's
is-
white.
no,
the
Kason.
Arabic dude.
Rug. That's
Kason.
Rug.
No. There's
Arabic,
another one.
that's FaZe Rug, bro. That fool's Arabic.
That's
isn't he?
he's young. FaZe Rug was young.
Yeah,
What are you
but
talking
there's an
about
older one. He had
No.
a beard. I don't know.
Arabic.
No.
No.
Everyone stop talking real quick.
Hey, tell us down in the comments if we're tripping.
No,
No,
you're-
there was a FaZe Clan member.
I
and
know
y'all
it.
know who it is. Just tell us.
Yeah, he was like Arabic. I thought he might have been Mexican, but I think he was Arabic.
Hold up. Bro, here we go.
No. All right.
There's music.
Rewind.
Hold on. It's FaZe Apex, Tico.
Apex.
That's what. Oh,
Apex,
It
that's
was
what
Apex.
Apex.
That's that. He was that shit.
Facts.
I fuck
It
with
was
Apex.
Apex.
I liked
There we go.
Adapt because he had the Flash series. He used-
Adapt.
and then
I
he
thought
got
it said
cheated
Adapt
on.
first. My dumbass.
You-
I literally named it off rip. I knew it.
That's what made me start wanting to do hip
Shout out
hop.
Apex. Shout out Adapt. Shout out Banks.
Shout out
Yo,
Raze.
You just unlocked a memory in my head,
That's
bro.
what I'm
'Cause
saying
that's what made
right
me
now.
want to start doing hip hop because that's whenever I started doing diss tracks and they had like FaZe Adapt got cheated on. And then like they did a diss track on his girl and it was like Rice Gum and Rice Gum started rapping. I was like, oh.
Damn, I remember that era.
Yes, bro.
That was a great era.
And then I started doing diss tracks on
New
people at
York
my
House.
school.
Yeah, it's in New York house.
I did a diss track on
On your
my ex
school?
girlfriend. Yeah, in seventh
He
grade.
said he did a diss track on his ex.
That was my first ever song. It was a diss track on my ex girlfriend in like 7th grade.
Shout
She
out
really broke
exes,
your
bro.
heart.
Yeah, she broke your heart, but ignited
It
a whole
was-
career.
I think
bro.
she's gay now, bro. It's crazy.
That's how it happens.
Hey, bro.
I had a couple of
That's-
them once.
That's wild.
Never mind. Hey, I love you, mom. I know you're watching this, but I was about to say something.
Nah, hey, no, well, hey, jokes aside, bro. Half of the girls I've ever like really talked to were like
Gay?
bi or whatever, but like
We gotta stop saying gay. Well, we're gonna get demonetized.
you're right.
Homosexual.
You're right. No,
There we go. Right? That's the right way though.
again, jokes aside, it's so hard to know when you're being offensive or not. And trust me, we are all great people. Everyone's
Well,
sitting
I
here
fuck
right now
with
is
gay
great
I'm
people,
not-
bro.
And
I
don't listen to
don't.
him. He's a
No, I'm
great
just
person.
kidding.
I do
And
fuck
he
with
would never disrespect anyone, but like sometimes I don't even know what to say anymore. I feel like we live in
I
an era.
fuck with gay people if they like stand on it. Like if that's you, bro, you just
Hold on.
you just like
Can we
embrace
bring it?
that shit.
Hold on.
You know, but if you're a straight dude and you doing kind of sus shit, like
Okay.
all
I
right,
get-
bro,
Hey, whoa.
you're
let's hey, not to cut you off, brother, because you want to you might be onto something, right? But let's bring it back real quick. Let's bring it
I
back.
be saying such shit all the time.
Yes, but let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back to the music. What DAW do you
We
use to
got
record?
so sidetracked. Wow.
my engineer Costello Beats.
Costello, okay, so
what
Costello
DAW?
Beats is your engineer. What DAW does he use? Do you know?
I think Logic.
Logic?
Yeah, I don't know how
Tough.
to use that shit. I know how to tell you. I know how to executively produce.
I use
I can
Logic.
tell you like what to do
What
and
arrangements?
like I can
Yeah.
tell you how it's supposed to sound, but like,
Well, like, any
if you
good-
put me in front of that shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm how
Right.
to use it. You
But
know?
you're an artist, dude. So that's not
I
your
know
job.
how to use Audacity and I know how to use BandLab because
Okay.
I cut all my
Say
demo.
Audacity.
I cut Audacity was the first DAW I used for like 6 years.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick.
Uh-huh.
There's an artist that we interviewed, Zach, and
Shout out Zach.
shout out Zach, and
Whoop, whoop.
he made fun of me actually for using Audacity because I started off with Audacity, and then he
Never
goes,
mind.
"What is that?"
Resend the shout out for Zach.
Zach is close by.
Oh, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, great guy, man.
And
Shout out Zach for real though.
you
But why is he
know,
hating?
I was sitting there and that's what I used to use was Audacity, and so many people don't know about that. So the fact that you brought it up, I appreciate
Bro,
that.
I used Audacity for
Never
so
used
long.
BandLab though. Anybody use BandLab, you can honestly.
I don't
BandLab
use
is too
I don't
new.
use BandLab professionally. I use it to make demos on my phone when I'm in my
Okay.
car. I turn
Yeah.
on the auto tune and
It's
then
like
I just
a pocket studio.
I can
Yeah.
figure out like how everything's supposed to sound, and then if I like it, I'll take it to the studio and then we'll actually
I'll
make
tell
the
you something
record.
about BandLab. It's super accessible, and I work with kids from like kindergarten to 8th grade, and I tell them all to download BandLab and just make some beats, and they be coming up with the craziest stuff.
Yeah.
And it's mind blowing that they can do that off their phone. So if they can do that and spark like a passion with something, and then later on get like whatever it might
Like
be,
Logic.
Logic or Pro Tools, whatever it might be, FL is kind of popping off now. I kind of hated on FL for a while, but it's kind of popping off.
I
bro.
wish I had BandLab whenever I was like 12. Like when
That's what I'm saying.
when
So
I
a lot of my
started
5th
it,
graders,
when I
tell 'em,
started, bro, if I had BandLab when I first started, bro, I would have had some crazy ass music. Like if I had autotune, I used iMovie, bro. I didn't have
Yeah,
autotune until I
yeah.
was like 17.
well, I feel like that might have made you a better artist.
Well,
though.
I didn't have autotune until BandLab came out. Yeah, that is true. Because I
Absolutely.
learned how to layer my vocals
Absolutely.
like in a way that nobody really knows. I can tell you exactly how to layer a vocal, and like I know how it's supposed to sound because I've done it for so long.
Mhm.
That's just the way my brain like I think thinks. I think like a lot of different artists whenever they kind of like produce their music, I think they produce it off like different types of things. Like some people listen for the beat, some people listen for like what you say, how you say it. I listen more for like harmonies. Like
Yeah.
like
Mm.
harmonies fucking geek me out. Like if you
I
have
love
if
a
you
you
good,
like
have-
I
Brent?
love a good
You
harmony,
like Brent
brother.
Fayez?
yeah, but I like when I say
You say he's
harmonies, I
gay?
mean like vocal layering, like Burna Boy, vocal
Yeah.
layering.
Okay.
You know the way he
okay,
layers
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
but he might
vocals?
hit like a low and then one high.
He-
but
he
ain't
be
doing
hitting,
too
like-
much on it.
He be
and
hitting
it's
like
that
10
harmony.
vocals.
Yeah.
And then they mix it like
what
crazy.
about Billie Eilish?
Billie
She
Eilish
does
is
like
crazy.
seven.
She's
seven,
crazy.
I love
7, 8
Billie
tracks.
Eilish.
I love me some harmonies. Recently though, I haven't really been listening to a lot of music in English, bro. I've been
Spanish?
like reggaeton.
Whoa.
But it's kind of interesting because it's been helping me be
what about
more
who do you listen to?
It's my raza, homie.
Yeah.
Carol G. I've been fucking with like
Shout out, Carol.
He can't even say the names.
I don't know how to say that name.
Feather-
Featherweight.
There's this Brazilian.
Regida.
Yeah. Grupo Frontera.
He's like,
Grupo
He's like, I really fuck with that Marshmallow remix they did.
No. Nah, there's. I
Hey,
like their album
hey.
with the fish on it.
The fish. The one. Hey, okay, bro. I'll tell you what, bro. Grupo Frontera.
Grupo Frontera is my
yeah,
favorite.
They're tough as shit, bro. What do you think about Peso Pluma?
I love Peso Pluma.
Of
I love
course.
Javi.
Come on.
All right.
Javi is fire. I like I don't know. I've been listening to like different
Javi's
types of
tough.
artists. I was trying to get away from like Bad Bunny because like that was like the reggaeton
Yeah.
dude. But
You know, honestly,
but I've been like discovering it. Like, but
he's still good. I don't
Okay,
care.
I like
Bad
he's like the
Bunny.
Drake of the Latin world.
Okay, so I was gonna say that, but in a way that's very controversial
Yeah,
because
no, it's not. He signed under OVO. Proceed.
is he
Wait,
actually?
yeah.
No.
Where you
fuck-
look? Why you looking at my angle for, bro?
I
Honestly,
could
get off my.
Tell
you
me
want a
what-
plan B?
Tell me why I thought you
No
pointed
Diddy.
at something for me to look at, and I was like, "What are you pointing at?"
Motherfucker said not if.
Nah,
when.
like, but if you think about it though, Drake and Bad Bunny is like
Similar-
parallel
yeah,
universe.
I get what you're
You
saying.
know what I mean?
brother.
Like their level of impact is kind of the
Si
same.
te
And they're,
quieres, mía.
yeah, but they're both dope. Like, but I like random. I also listen to some of the homies who just do reggaeton. But I love Peso Pluma. But recently I've been trying to just get into some like random shit. I also like
Yeah.
dancehall, like Sasuke or however the fuck you say his name. Burna Boy, Wizkid, like some
Wizkid's
yeah,
fire.
yeah.
I like
Wizkid's
Wizkid a lot.
fire. Georgia
like-
Smith.
I like Burner too.
I feel like
but
those deep cuts are what make you a better artist because anyone could be like, "Yeah, I love Drake, I love Bad Bunny," but it's like, nah, give me an artist that's like just as talented, but
Sade.
but don't get the recognition and like put me on. I be telling people put me on. Like that's the type of like artist I want to listen to. It's like I never heard them before.
Yeah, there's this artist I started fucking with from Brazil. My homie Costello put me onto it.
Tough.
It's like Aram or something. He'd be
Aram.
doing like Brazilian funk
Yeah,
type shit. And like,
ARAUM.
yeah.
Yeah.
You fuck with him?
Yeah.
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, bro.
What he said.
Yeah.
But you know,
Brazil is tough, bro.
like I fuck with like Ty Dolla $ign because Ty Dolla $ign be hopping on those kinds of beats.
he kind of
like,
Ty's
He's very
versatile.
versatile. Yeah. I love
Ty
him.
Dolla
I
$ign's
love you,
like
brother.
low key underrated as fuck, bro. Like him, because I
Yeah.
really started
Shout
fucking
out
with him
Ty.
till the Yay album with Vultures.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
like,
here's the thing,
and
bro.
then that's
A lot of people weren't woken
I
up
was
about-
sleeping on him, and then I had to go back and be like, oh, Ty Dolla $ign.
The reason why Ty doesn't get
fire.
Do
the
it stay wet. Sorry.
Does
That's
smell
Nip.
for,
but that's
you know,
it.
My
loose
bad.
to the latex.
What I was gonna say is the reason why Ty don't get the credit he deserves is because there's always people like Drake shadowing over him, like giving him because they homies, but like he always giving him.
Don't be.
like
Are
he
you
be giving-
dissing?
I'm not dissing, but like
Are you dissing?
Drake is so.
I'm
is-
Team OVO.
No, I'm team. I love Drake, man. I love music, bro. If you make good music, I'm gonna fuck with you. But
Yo,
Bro, when is
Kendrick's-
it? When,
It can't like okay.
uh-oh.
I will say this, right? I like Drake more, but
Okay.
I will say that new Kendrick album, the way he was able to incorporate like the new LA sound into like his
All right, let me-
music
let-
and
let me
make
tell
that
you something.
huge nationwide. No, I like
I'm like, what?
like
wait,
all
new
the
LA
artists-
sound.
all the artists in the United States of America, nobody was fucking with that kind of flow. Squabble up. Like nobody was fucking with anything like that. But now with
Ye-
Kendrick, he put the West Coast back on, bro, because nobody was fucking with the West Coast before Kendrick won that Drake beef, in my opinion. And this is from my personal experience, from what I've seen. going to clubs in Baltimore, going to clubs like around that area in the DMV and
yeah.
Texas. Nobody was fucking with it.
I wouldn't say like put the West Coast back on. 1, 2, you are absolutely right because, bro, I love the whole GNX album. Like majority of it, I'm not gonna lie, probably like 90%.
Now,
maybe.
before that, I'm not a huge Kendrick fan. I liked the Damn album and I liked Good Kid, Mad City. I liked To Pimp a Butterfly. But
Great
like,
album.
you know, when those albums came out, I was so young. And then he had like the 4 years of not releasing any music.
Yeah.
And then he came out with Mr. Morale. And
Mr.
like,
Morale and the Big Steppers was
to
a
me-
big mistake.
to me, he sounded like dated. Like he sounded like this is some old head.
So I'm gonna ask you
music.
something. Because I grew up on Kendrick. So it's like I grew up on both Drake and Kendrick. But I also remember like Drake putting everybody on. I remember Drake taking Kendrick
on
Lamar
tour.
and ASAP Rocky on tour.
Mhm.
So that's what people don't understand is like there's interviews of Kendrick, sucking the meat off him.
Yeah.
So you get in your car, boom, we
Sure,
play
that's
you
what I'm
5
thinking.
Kendrick songs versus playing you 5 Drake songs random.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do know Kendrick songs. Like I do know Kendrick songs.
You're telling me you're gonna
However,
recite some.
no, I'm gonna tell
No,
you,
yeah.
bro. I
Drake
like
is a
Drake
pop
more.
star.
I'm more of a Drake fan
He's a
than a
star.
Kendrick fan.
Okay.
I've been fucking with Drake way longer than I was fucking with Kendrick.
Bro,
but I
because
do
you close to Houston.
Yeah, but I also was in Baltimore, bro, and Drake is big in Baltimore. Drake is
Yeah,
big
he actually
in
is.
Baltimore, bro.
Big
That is-
everywhere.
Drake
well,
is
no, he
him,
big everywhere.
bro.
But like, there's certain cities where Drake just has some sort of like call it aura
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, Drake has the Jersey club, like he uses Jersey club drums, and Baltimore club sound is very similar to that same type of drums. It's
Absolutely.
a little different than Jersey club, but it's still like in the same
No, it's same realm for sure.
same realm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Drake
Same
is
bounce.
huge on the East Coast. So I was fucking with Drake.
Yes.
Drake was
Drake is
Drake.
actually very
Drake
big in
was the
East.
first artist when Drake was in his best year, the year right before the beef. That I
The
think
year
Drake,
right before the beef.
Yes,
What do you
bro.
think his best year was?
bro. When Drake, I'm not talking
That's
about
very
his-
debatable.
I'm
I'm
talking
not.
about views.
Well, Views is his
2016.
best, right?
It's at Marvin's
But
room.
Drake, when Drake was running the game, 2023, 2024.
Who do you think the top artist has been most streamed on Spotify
No,
for the
it's
past
Drake.
14 years?
It's Drake, right?
14.
But-
That's such a specific.
But you gotta
I
think.
think it's a decade.
You gotta think. Drake was competitive all the way up until Certified Lover Boy when he dethroned Kanye. Then from Certified Lover Boy all the way to the album right before the beef, For All the Dogs. For All the Dogs is whenever it started to get shaky. But in between that time, from CLB to For All the Dogs, Drake was running the game. Nobody was fucking with Drake. Nobody was competing with Drake except for Taylor Swift. Kendrick
Right, yeah,
came
yeah.
And brought Drake back down a little bit. Now Drake is competitive.
Right, we're talking like
Again.
top streaming artists. You got
Yeah,
your Taylor
like-
Swifts.
like
They were
he-
Drake was breaking. I think at the time, I think it was 2023. He had just surpassed Michael Jackson
Mm-hmm.
in
He was
most
untouchable.
all time streams ever. So yeah,
Mhm.
and then you had the Weeknd kind of like trying to like rise up, make some hits and whatnot, but you can have 1 or 2 hits, but Drake has like thousands of hits,
His
right?
Yeah.
catalog is just
Untouchable.
so this is what Drake has said in an interview before too. Because if you look at it, like people are always like, oh, like what is he doing with Honestly Nevermind and whatever the case, right? You're talking more like Jersey Club. If you look at his catalog from So Far Gone,
Mhm.
right, and we're talking all the way up to even Nothing Was the Same, just those whatever.
Mhm.
So Far Gone, Nothing Was the Same, blah blah blah, all the way up until Views.
Mhm.
What else does he need to do?
That's not my generation, bro.
You- yeah,
I didn't become a Drake fan until, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Okay.
When he had Jungle, and I used to play Mass Effect, and I would listen to
Sorry.
Jungle
Yeah,
and like Legend, and then Summer 16 came out,
yeah,
and then he had Pop Style with the Throne.
yep.
I've always been a bigger Kanye fan than Drake.
Got that of school.
But-
now we-
Now, not anymore, but Like
Kanye was super tough.
Kanye was my Kanye was
he
like
made
my
graduation
goat until this year.
Man,
Until this year, Kanye was my goat. So,
that
you,
song
What do you
goes
mean
down.
you don't like jokes?
I don't like cousins, bro.
Kanye says a lot of intense, controversial shit that's not for a lot of people. So
Yeah.
he might have
No, I
screwed
still
over a lot of
fuck with
fan
him,
base.
but I don't fuck with him like heavy anymore. I don't like the deviant shit. Like I even with the Nazi shit, I was like, nah, I'm not really fucking with that. But I could overlook it. But then whenever he's like, I'm a cuck, and he starts saying like that in the music, then it's
Well, here's a question for you. As someone who is where you're at right now, and not to say you're not popping, but we know we have somewhere where we're gonna be in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, wherever it might be, but we're gonna be where we want to be, right?
Mhm.
If you get to that point, and I've seen a lot of artists, their mental state is so quick to get messed up by whatever it might be, whether it's comments, fans, labels, just that whole like touring, even going on tour could be a lot for some people.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you are prepared mentally to deal with anything that might be thrown at you? Because like you said, dude, you're dropping a song a day, and at any moment one of those could pop off, and you could have like a blow up in a night type of moment, and before you know it, you could either be in Kanye's shoes because you don't
Yeah.
know where
Well,
your
I fuck
mental
with
state.
Kanye. The sad thing about Kanye though is how you gonna be a billionaire and then get a drug addiction. Like that's
You think he's on drugs?
yeah, he on nitrous. He literally talks about
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know what I
Nos?
mean?
Just
But that's my thing. He was a
I
billionaire.
didn't know that actually.
He was a
That's why.
billionaire,
He gets it
and
from his
then
dentist.
he became
I
addicted to
didn't know
drugs.
that.
That's what's crazy to me. If
That's
I'm a
wild.
billionaire, I'm not touching drugs, bro. I'm just saying if
Yeah,
I
that's a slippery slope.
never did no drugs in my life and then I become a billionaire, I'm not gonna like, hey, I'm gonna start fucking doing meth. Like, nah, like
Yeah,
what
no,
the fuck?
Kanye was very respectable, man, growing up. He studied at, like, I think it was like Boston College of Music, something. He graduated, like,
Oh, can I answer your question?
yeah,
though?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with me, like I think I could handle it, bro, because like my life has just been stressful for like
Mhm.
with the military. Like nothing's gonna be more stressful than the military, bro. Like
Yeah.
especially like going into like combat zones and getting like actually shot at. Like I got like literal paperwork saying like, oh, I did this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that really compares to that because your life is not gonna be in danger, if you're just on a fucking tour promoting music.
You
I mean,
never
it
know,
could
buddy.
be.
Well, that's the
It
thing.
could
There's some
be.
crazy
Knock on
fans.
wood.
But here's the thing: is like he said, bro. Like it's not until you like literally feel like you're about to die or been shot at, or like you're zigzagging through like combat till you really like put life in perspective.
It woke me up.
Yeah.
It woke me up, bro. It was like
Perspective
it
change.
was one of those things. It took me a minute to be able to talk about it because I didn't know how to like explain it. Whenever I got shot at and I came out of that, bro, like I just looked at life completely different, bro. Like
Absolutely.
we had missiles launching at us in the sky. It was like fucking fireworks. And then we had boats try to crash into us. And like after that, bro, like, you know what I mean? I was chilling like through the whole thing. But like, after you have like an experience like that and it's like a near death experience, it's like you don't really want to fuck around,
Yeah.
with your time or anything like I'm not really trying to like, go just chill with like the homies and get drunk or whatever. Like I that's just not me, like if I'm trying to focus on like
That's so funny. I was literally just talking to homeboy about that shit. When you're trying to elevate, and it's at that point, especially after what you've gone through, it's not about elevating. It's just like exactly like you said, it's a perspective change. It's like there's so much more than just like drinking.
or even just music, bro. Like there's so much more than just music. And I always looked at life as
Whoa.
like no.
Whoa.
It made me a better artist. It made me a better
Music matters more.
More.
I think so
Right.
too.
But maybe not most.
I think your family matters most, bro. And
Right.
I will say that
Absolutely.
Of course.
I'll say that as
Absolutely.
somebody that's
Absolutely.
like,
But,
Absolutely.
mom,
bro, I used to hyper obsess about this shit. Like I
mama.
could not go to sleep if I felt bad about myself because my music wasn't popping or a song didn't do well.
Absolutely, because
Like
there's more important shit.
yeah, I was
Exactly.
so hard on myself about everything with music, and so when I was over there, I just detached from like everything. It was like having like a weird like out of body experience whenever it just put things in perspective, and then it's just like now, like I am happier when I'm around my family, and I always thought I was happiest when I made music, but then now it's like nah, like I'm happiest when I'm with my family and I'm just hanging out or hanging out with my girl, and I'm just like living, and then that makes me a better artist because my perspective isn't based on what other people think about me. It's what I
Right.
could bring to the music from my own
From
heart,
your own,
in
yeah,
my
from your own
own.
experience and the way you feel. Like a lot of the time when I make music, it is a representation of the way I'm feeling in that moment.
Hmm.
So if I'm going through struggle with a relationship, I'm making sad music where I'm
Hmm.
like spilling my heart out, whatever. If I'm feeling good, no worries, I'm making money, I'm making happy, bang your head music like that. Yeah, exactly. So
Hmm.
that's what it is for you, bro. If you want to be in that mode as an artist, you're gonna get in that mode regardless. But right now, for you, you put that, like you said, bro. So family matters more. What type of music you making? You're making
Hmm.
that feel good music, right? Because you feel good. And I feel like that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Well, like when I was, it's just it's music is the soundtrack to your life, and that's just the way your music is,
Absolutely.
and the
I
best
love that.
music has to be emotional. You have to feel what you're saying for other people to enjoy it, because if you don't
Mhm.
put any feeling into it, then other people aren't gonna fuck with it.
Yeah,
So
audience knows when you're faking it, man.
yeah, and so like I always had a really hard time sitting with myself and being like honest about, you know what I mean? And especially in the music, because I couldn't be honest with myself about how I was actually feeling. But having that whole experience and being able to detach, it brought me down to my roots. And then I was able to build myself up back on my own. And putting
Yeah,
that into the music
that's
is
exactly what it is.
yeah, it makes you more like emotional, and then it's like I want every song to, if this is my last song ever, I want this song to be as good as it can be.
Yeah.
And some of the shit that I drop is like stuff that I made before deployment, but everything that I have made after deployment, I would say has been like my best music because I'm able to just really lock in on the emotions and then
Mm.
just like bring them out
Well,
into
and like
the
you
music.
said, man, a lot of that old music, you said, you could come back to, and if you got to touch it up, bro, based on how you feel now. But every song, like I keep all my music. I try not to delete anything. A lot of
Mhm. You
people
gotta
will
put
be
it
like,
out.
"Oh, I hate this song," just delete it, make a new one. It's like, nah, keep everything because you don't know how you're gonna feel in a week, a month, 10
Mhm.
years later, 5 years later, and you're gonna hear that shit and be like, "Whoa, that
Yeah.
was actually a crazy time." You know what? Let's do this with that, and that might be a hit for you.
Well,
You never know.
my favorite advice was from Russ whenever he said, "Oh my, I did 11 albums before
Mhm.
I blew up," and then he's like, when I signed my first deal,
It was 50-50.
yeah, he was 50-50, and he retained ownership of all his back catalog,
Yeah.
so the label didn't touch any of that. So when the label started boosting up his debut album on the label, he still had these 11 projects that was doing crazy streams because people are finding that. And then they're looking at his back catalog, and your back catalog
Tough.
is what gets you paid
Yeah,
as a
because that's
label.
because that's your 100% royalties. That's your music, right? That was
Well, and he made all the
Mhm.
beats. Well, first off, the first 11 projects were only on his website. So there was nothing. It was on CD Baby and a couple other streaming
yeah.
services. That wasn't even a thing. When he was releasing the 96 songs, that was on SoundCloud, but he also released those on all platforms.
Mhm.
So he made the beats, he engineered it. He literally had all of his licensing, and then he went through TuneCore, which was able to help him get his licensing. So he had already owned that catalog that he was making before he even signed to
Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia. He was already making 100K a week. There
Yeah.
was nothing that they could have given him. He signed for one album off rip, and it was the Wolf one. What is it
There's
called?
really a wolf.
There's Really a
I'm
Wolf.
not a huge Russ fan musically, but I studied that motherfucker's career, bro.
So he did There's Really a Wolf, and then it went so good with them that they ended up signing for 2 albums, but then even after that, X amount of
It
time,
was
he
like
only
Shake the
finished
Snow Globe
yeah,
was the last one.
he only finished 2 more albums, and then he's sitting there, he has all his masters again.
He
That's
figured out
So
actually
how the label system works, and then he went independent with it, which
yeah.
I think is
Well, he
genius.
was already independent, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he was independent, and then he
Signed
got,
and then
well.
and then he
yeah,
signed, and then he became
figured it
independent
out,
again.
yeah.
And then
Little side note on Russ. My uncle actually did a music video with him and Jaden Smith.
for real,
Yeah, it was like back when he was independent, and he's like, yeah, I just did a music video. You might know them. It's like Russ and it's Jaden Smith. It's Will Smith. Sounds like, yeah, I know those. I know those motherfuckers. I was like, hell yeah, I know.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he did like the special effects and stuff. Shout out my uncle. He's working with Marvel now. He's doing all
Shout
that.
out.
Yeah, dude. He's
That's
tough.
sick.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I only saw Jaden for a little bit. He only stayed for like the shoot and whatnot, and then he dipped out. But like Russ was just like down to earth, just hung out with them, was just like cool guy, talked to him like he didn't have like that ego, like, oh, I'm too above it. Like he's just, and I feel like to this day, man, he probably like you get down talking to him, like he's a great guy, bro. And like I feel like that shows in his music a lot too. And I feel like that's what's gonna show in a lot of, artists nowadays is that authenticity is, you know, if you making music from like you said, like your life soundtrack, then it's gonna resonate to a lot of people because
Mhm.
it's real and it's you, right?
And it's dope because like you can put out music. Like that's what I was thinking whenever I was like, oh, I'm gonna put back out all my old music. And I'm still in the process of doing that. But like putting back out all my old albums that I deleted, it's like I could go back and listen to how I was thinking whenever I was
Yeah,
Well,
17.
because that music
absolutely.
is
You
good for
know?
its time, and I always tell people, like, I have my first song ever still on SoundCloud, and it's like, that's because I want people to see the progression, I want them to see that he was shit. You know
Yeah.
what
All
I'm
right.
saying?
Or
That
maybe he
to
was
now
a genius.
That's
Or
inspired.
maybe he was
Yeah.
a genius.
deep
People won't
side.
give him the credit, man.
And then it
If you had
inspires
to
them.
leave an artist with one piece of advice, what would you leave them with?
Oh shit. Um that's a hard question.
That's a
There's a
tough one.
lot of art. There's a lot of advice I could give a lot of different artists because there's
Any
a
artist, somebody doing whatever,
well,
whether it's painting.
I could tell you
Someone who's trying to build on their
I
craft.
could tell you once you give something to the world, make sure you don't take it back. Don't be an Indian giver with your art. Like one of
That's
my
fire.
biggest regrets was always whenever I took down like a lot of my catalog, and I'm still in the process of trying to like figure that out.
You know, it's crazy you say that, bro. Not to cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
but for a lot of people, that like it could have been 1, 2, 3 streams, bro, that you had on that song. But for that 1 or 2 people that listened to it, that might have
That might have been their favorite
That was
song.
like saving them or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, bro, it is that, and it don't matter if it's just 1 or 2 fans, but that's enough.
And then you keep those fans too. Like
Yeah.
of you old fans always stay. You know what I mean? Unless you
Mhm.
fuck them over, you like really do something that really
Take down their
pisses them
favorite
off.
song.
Yeah, like you know, like they're gonna stay.
Like, fuck yeah.
Maybe it ends up on their playlist, and then that song just stays on their playlist because they never take it off, and
Yeah.
it's like
That's gonna be one
That
of their
might
OG
be,
bangers.
you know what I mean, 2 cents for you here and there, and then it's like it adds up over time, and then boom,
Right.
that's $100. The other piece of advice I would say is don't go into business with people with problems. Um, that's the other thing. Like if you
Everybody
notice,
got problems.
everybody got problems, but there's certain problems you need to watch out for. You need to watch.
Absolutely.
So there's 3 things I think you need to watch out for. It's loyalty, it's drugs, and it's alcohol, and also not and laziness.
So addictions in general.
Addiction, yeah. Loyalty, addiction, and laziness.
Laziness.
Yeah, because
Love that.
I've lost. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but whenever I started promoting, I was working with a promoter, and we became really good friends, and he taught me a lot of what I know about music promotion, and I always appreciate him for that, and I always be grateful for that. However, he did
Yeah.
have a lot of problems with like addiction, and that caused our relationship to go bad because it started interfering with the money. Um, and so I ended up losing like a couple $1,000 because I had really invested into our partnership and our business, and
Yeah.
then I come to find out, he's taking money on the
Yeah, he's
side, or
investing into the wrong stuff.
yeah,
I
or
get you, brother.
or he would act, unprofessional around people, make people uncomfortable, and I'm not knowing about it because I'm trusting it. So, uh, make sure that you can, if you're being around somebody, make sure they're always
Solid.
solid and making you look good. You don't want
Yeah.
somebody around you that makes you look bad. And if they do make you look bad, you got to cut them off, or you
Right.
got to put distance.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially if you vouching for him, how you gonna make me look bad if I vouch for you? And like you said, bro, like I'm
mhm.
thinking it's one way, but you out here making people uncomfortable, acting a different way, and that's the
Yeah.
people you stay away from.
And it's
Absolutely.
like people talk, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how much business I missed out on because I was offering opportunities and people would like me, but they didn't like my partner at the time, and they would say no to working with me. And I could have made more success if I was just on my own grinding. But at the same time, I'm grateful for that experience because I learned the hard way, but then I also learned a lot of stuff about the industry from that person. And so it's not even like hate, like I wish him the best, but like that is a lesson that I learned. And then the other thing I learned was loyalty. You don't want, if you're gonna have somebody around you, you should, and they're gonna be like involved in your personal life, like you need to make sure you can trust them. And there's a couple ways you can spot it, like if they talk shit about their friends, or if they do something that's disloyal to you, you cannot keep them around. Like
Yeah.
there's been a couple situations where I've been in the industry, what I mean, somebody does some sly shit,
Mhm.
and if I catch it, I cannot fuck with you. Even if we're cool again, you know what I
Right.
mean? You can't put yourself in a position where you just keep getting snaked. Once
Yeah,
somebody,
that actually happened with my previous manager that I had for the label.
yeah,
It wasn't even like any one of my friends can do whatever the case, but I found out he was messaging a bunch of my ex-girlfriends and whatever the case, but it's like he was seeing it as, "Oh man, blah blah blah. Like you think you're mad because I'm messaging your exes and trying to get your trickle downs, when in reality, it's like you own a percent of my company. So I don't care about the women, but it's also like if you're doing this behind my back,
It's like,
what
what
else
else
what are
would
you
you
gonna?
you
Yeah,
doing?
do
exactly. What
Yeah.
else
later
you gonna
on?
do?
Where can the people find you, Deep Side?
Spotify, Deep Side with a dollar sign, Apple Music, Deep Side with a dollar sign, and then my Instagram is at Deep Side 999.
I appreciate you so much for coming on. I appreciate you for making that drive. Honestly, like I want to have a part two with you, and I don't say that with a lot of artists.
Yeah,
So I
love,
would
brother.
like
Oh
to have a
yeah,
part two with
Like I
you
said, man,
sometime.
it's been a
that shit was
blessing to have
real.
you on.
We're
Blessing.
gonna actually have uh I have my studio second location opening up, and I would love for you to be there if you would like to do that.
Oh
I feel
yeah.
like you have a very unique sound.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have a couple artists perform there. If you would want to perform there, I would love for you to do a couple songs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just let me
Shout
know the
out Deep
details
Side.
after the podcast. So that sounds sick.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, I
We're gonna have
appreciate you
you on.
guys for having me on. It was a dope
Shout
conversation.
out your handles right now. Go.
Hey, Deep Side 999, Deep Side 999,
Deep
Deep Side
Side.
999, and also Deep Side with a dollar sign on all streaming platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe.
Oh
Part
shit.
2 coming soon. I appreciate y'all. Let's tap in. Come see me. Good Vibes Fest, June 26th.
Come
Hangover
on.
Fest,
Yeah,
July
pull
5th.
up, pull up.
I want to
Pull
let
up.
Hit that, hit that
you
link.
can
Shout-
pull up. I want to let you know there's a couple people ahead of you, so this might not come out before you.
This
think
might
it is,
come out
but-
after
Hey,
that.
But,
you know
hey,
what? I just
I
realized
hope you went
that
to the
too.
fest.
Shout out to my family.
If you pull up to the fest, you a real one.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girlfriend. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to my city, all my cities.
That's right.
Every city I live in, I kind of claim, bro. Like,
Hey, you
Hey.
can take a little piece of every city you
Yeah.
from.
yes, bro. Cause like, I don't even want to get too deep into it, but like, literally, like people be asking me, oh, why you rep this city, this city? I'm like, motherfucker, I lived there for like a long ass time. Like, I lived in
Right.
San Diego. Like, I could rep San Diego. I could rep Baltimore. I could rep Texas.
I
could rep-
live there, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. Like, I spent time and I learned the culture. So
Like,
it's
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna dive into it. I'm gonna dive deep.
yeah, but shout out all
You
the
gonna get
places.
to the deep side.
Jumping in the deep side, going off the
Everybody,
deep
this
side.
is Music Matters More podcast. I hope you have a good rest of your day, week, month, year. Blessings to you and blessings to all your family. Eric.
Man, it was fucking pleasure, bro. Blessings. You're legit. Everyone tap in. If you don't, you a square. Simple, but it's love, man. It's love,
love.
man. Hope
Deep
to see
side.
that part too.
Love in the building. Hey,
You already know, y'all. At the end of the day,
leave a
Music
like and
matters more,
subscribe.
baby.
Music matters
Later.
more.
music matters
Peace.
more.